Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something really fascinating. It genuinely surprised me, and I think it will you too. We're talking about how space travel impacts human DNA profoundly.
Absolutely. Our mission today really is to get into a groundbreaking study. It shows how deep space doesn't just, challenge the body, it seems to fundamentally reconfigure it. Right down at the molecular level, we're talking core biological shifts here.
So, okay, the big question right off the bat, does spending time up there in space actually change our DNA? And we're talking mutations, like becoming something else, or is it different?
That's a great question, and it brings us straight to NASA's famous twin study. This is really crucial. It involved astronaut Scott Kelly. He spent nearly a whole year, 2015 to 2016, up on the International Space Station. Meanwhile, his identical twin brother, Mark Kelly, stayed here on Earth.
The perfect control subject, genetically speaking.
Exactly. It let researchers isolate the changes that were likely due to Scott's time in space. A unique comparison.
And what did they find? What did this unprecedented comparison actually reveal?
Well, the first major finding was that about 7% of Scott's gene expression showed long-term changes.
Okay, gene expression. So let's be super clear for everyone listening. This doesn't mean his basic DNA sequence mutated, right? No.
Yeah.
Space mutant powers or anything like that.
Precisely. No superpowers, unfortunately. It means how his body was using its genes shifted. Think of it like which genes were turned on or off or dialed up or down. The activity levels changed, not the underlying genetic blueprint itself.
Got it. It's about how the instruction book is read, not rewritten.
Exactly. And then there's the really fascinating bit, the part that was quite counterintuitive, the telomeres.
Ah, telomeres. Those protective caps on the ends of our chromosomes, the ones usually linked to aging.
That's them. And typically, as you know, they get shorter as we age. It's a common biomarker. But in space, Scott Kelly's telomeres actually got longer.
Longer. Wow. That seems completely backward. It almost sounds like an anti-aging effect.
It definitely raised a lot of eyebrows. People immediately wondered, could space somehow slow or reverse aging?
So was he getting younger up there at a cellular level, or is there maybe a more complex explanation?
It's a captivating idea, but the consensus now leans towards it being more of a temporary stress response. It might be linked to things like increased cell turnover or inflammation as his body frantically adapted to that really extreme environment.
Ah, okay. So not necessarily rejuvenation, but maybe the body's defense mechanism kicking into high gear.
That seems more likely. It's the body trying to protect itself under duress. And you have to remember the factors involved. There's the constant radiation exposure, the huge physiological stress of spaceflight itself, and of course living without Earth's gravity, microgravity.
All hammering the body at once.
Right. It's a complex mix triggering these molecular responses.
Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, what about when he came back? Were these changes permanent?
That's key. Most of these shifts, the gene expression changes, even the telomere lengthening, they largely reversed once Scott was back on Earth.
Mostly reversed, so the body readjusted again.
Yes, for the most part. But, and this is important, not all changes vanished immediately. Some of those altered gene expression patterns persisted for months, maybe even longer.
Ah, so space does leave a kind of lingering biological footprint, even if temporary for many things.
It definitely seems that way. It demonstrates this remarkable adaptability, this temporary reshaping of the body's operating system, but with some lasting echoes.
So what does this all mean? The thinking ahead, especially for those really long missions, like, say, going to Mars, this seems critical.
Absolutely critical. Understanding how space prompts these deep biological reorganizations right down to the molecules is vital. It's essential for developing countermeasures, for designing better spacecraft habitats, basically for keeping astronauts safe and healthy on trips that could take years.
It really drives home that idea from the source material we looked at.
Yeah.
Deep space doesn't just challenge your body physically. It actually sort of rewires it.
It truly does. It highlights the incredible plasticity, the resilience of the human body, even at the genetic level, facing such an alien environment. It's quite an astounding testament to our biology's ability to adapt.
Yeah, incredible adaptability. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it leaves us with a pretty profound thought, doesn't it? This capacity for biological rewiring.
hmm
What could it mean for humanity's long-term future out there, beyond Earth? Maybe across, multiple generations.
That's a huge question, a really profound thought to ponder, especially as we seriously consider becoming a multiplanetary species.
Absolutely. Something for all of you listening to mull over. That wraps up our deep dive today into space, DNA, and the amazing adaptability of us humans.